Terry here from Queensland, Australia on this beautiful autumn day. When we joined Skinny Body Care and became a distributor, many of you saw somebody advertising a product or sharing the knowledge of a product that they found had worked for them. Most of us were skeptical. I know I was the biggest skeptic under the sun. I can tell you that right now. And I drove poor Jackie nuts for 6 months before I took the product. And then I had to wait 6 weeks for it to come to Australia. Anyway, and then I started taking the product, and I didn't think it was going to work. I had all intention of sending my product back because I did not think Skinny Fiber was going to work. I had Hashimoto's. I had been putting on weight. I had done all sorts of things, and nothing worked. I don't eat junk food. I don't drink soft drink or sweet drinks. I very rarely have a drink of alcohol. I eat fruit and veggies. I don't eat processed foods. I do everything that you should be doing, and nothing was working. I was walking 8 kilometers a day, and while my girlfriends were losing weight, I was putting it on. I seemed to be finding what they were leaving behind. So I was pretty down in the dumps, and I bought my bottle of Skinny Fiber with all intention of sending it back. Well, my husband works away, and I never told a soul. I live on a property, as you can see, and I never told a soul that I was taking Skinny Fiber, except for my best friend Megan. And she was just as skeptical and critical as what I was. Anyway, so my bottles came, and I started taking them. And my husband came home from work probably 14, 16 days after I'd started taking Skinny Fiber, and he was all over me. His hands were all over me. They would not leave me alone. So I got on the phone and I rang my girlfriend Megan, and I said, man, all he wants is to touch me all the time, and I'm not getting anything done. And she's going, do you think that stuff really works? And I said, I don't know. Anyway, so she took me, or she didn't, she told me to go and take another photo because I had sent a photo, my beginning photo, to her, and she told me to go and take another photo. So she took another photo, and we both went on PiZap. We both found out from Jackie where to go, and we both went on PiZap, and we both lined it up because I thought, if this is something that's going to be, you know, some sneaky program that makes you skinnier or whatever, if there's 2 of us doing it, then we'll see how it goes. We'll come up with 2 different results. Well, what happened was we put the side-by-side photos together, and you could see the part underneath my belly, underneath my boobs. It used to stick right out like this. I was very large. I had the typical Hashimoto's stomach. I looked like I was about 15 months pregnant all the time. I was wearing maternity clothes because I couldn't find clothes off the rack that would fit me. That was just horrible. And what happened was the part underneath my boobs, the belly underneath my boobs, was actually under my boobs. And I thought, oh goodness. And we were both, our jaws just dropped, and we're like, oh, this stuff actually works. So then we went on, and Megan said, well, you have to send me some. And I'm like, well, I signed up for to be a distributor, so how about you order some bottles off me? I'll send you a bottle up because my girlfriend lives 5 hours away. I'll send you a bottle up, and you send me a bottle down when you get your order. Anyway, that was okay. So she did that because back then it took a long time to get your parcels. Anyway, I would walk to school with the kids from the car or walk around town, and other people would notice. I'd bought 6 bottles, and an auto ship had come out, and I'd bought another 6 bottles, and all these people were coming up to me saying, what are you doing? We want to do what you're doing. And I told them. And that's how I started becoming a distributor. And I thought, well, this is all right, you know. People are coming up to me, and I'm making a bit of money. You know, they're buying a 6-pack. I'm giving them one of my bottles. They're replacing that bottle. And I'm earning $75 per bottle, per 6-pack order that they're giving me. This is all right. And I was quite happy with that. I thought, oh, okay. And then I didn't get any sales for a while. And I spoke to Jackie, and I said, I'm not doing something. Something is not working for me. What's going on? And she said to me, well, what are you doing? And I said, well, the same as what I already was doing. And she said, but what's changed? And I said, well, I don't know. Anyway, we got talking, and then I decided, because I had my group, I decided, okay, well, my group's really quiet. They're not talking. They're just not talking. And so I thought, well, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, if this isn't going to work for me, I've still got my group. I think I had about 200 people in my group. I've still got my group, so, and I'm still on my weight loss journey. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn around and I'm going to just enjoy my group. I'm going to share my journey and share my friends' journeys. And that's what I did. I just changed. It was not, I lost, I made $75 because I sold a 6-pack mindset. So what I did is I went into my group and I started talking to them and I started playing games, and I decided probably about 3 months after I joined, I might try something. So what I did was, on a Friday night, I put a bottle up and I said, who's online? And I had a few people reply back to me, a couple. And I said, how about I do an auction for a bottle of Skinny Fiber? You have to be in Australia though. Anyway, that's exactly what I did. I auctioned a bottle of Skinny Fiber on a Friday night. I started my auction at $15 because I thought, well, I'm only doing it for the fun of it. And I started my auction at $15, and every bid had to be $1 increment. They couldn't put in like 20 cents or something. It always had to be $1 or $2 or a dollar amount. So I did that, and I did that for probably, maybe 4 or 5 Friday nights. Not every Friday night, just spontaneously. Now, for all of the auctions except for one, I always made full price on my bottle. And what I did was I would say to the person that won, for the top 3 that won, because they were always near full price, some even went over, I would say, okay, well, you've won this bottle for $60, but would you like to buy the 3 bottles for $119 instead? And most of them would say yes. Some would say no, but most would say yes. And because they could see the value, they're getting a bottle free. And that's how I started with getting my group talking and getting more customers for my skinny fiber. But I'll tell you what, the money is one thing. The money is good money. It's good money. But what you have is a product that works. And when you have, and I've had this happen a few times, when you're sitting there, like with that auction, I had a lady, she was 70 years old. She bought the 3 bottles. Anyway, so we got her order done, and she rang me probably 3 weeks after she had started her bottle of Skinny Fiber. And she rang me, and I already knew that this lady was riddled with arthritis. I already knew that she was housebound. I knew that when she did go out, she had to have a scooter. She was just one of those ladies that, the world was basic. She was just waiting to die. And she had carers come in, and carers helped her with a lot of stuff. About 2 weeks after she started, she rang me and she said, Terry, I just got out of bed and stood up. Now, this lady before would get out of bed crippled over because she couldn't put weight on her feet. She was so riddled with arthritis. But this one day, she rang me up and she told me that she could stand up. And they put her walker, the walking stool that they have? They put her walking stool, her grandsons did, just a little bit further away. They walked with her so that she was able to do it. She got to the door and she was over the moon. She sat down and she said, give me my phone, I have to ring Terry. And that was pretty amazing. And probably about 3 weeks after she started her first bottle, she rang me. It was dinner time. And she said, Terry, guess what I've just done? And I said, what, Donna, what? She said, I've just cooked dinner. I said, really? Because this lady could not stand up. She said, I have made corned meat with white sauce from scratch and vegetables. Now, everyone knows with white sauce, you have to stir and stir and stir, and you have to stand there. She used to cook with a stool beside her stove, and she would sit there, but she stood there 3 weeks after she'd started. She stood there and she made her white sauce. So, you know, you get goosebumps when people ring you and they tell you these things. You get emotional. I've turned into the biggest sook since I've started being a distributor for Skinny Body Care, and I solely blame Skinny Body Care for that. I have had people, I had one guy, he is my husband's best friend. He lives 10 hours away. He lives down in New South Wales in Newcastle. He drove 10 hours to see me one day, and I didn't know anything about it. And I've got a very long driveway, and I saw this car at the front, and I didn't even recognize it. Now, I had given him his bottle to start off with because I was worried about him. He was very overweight, and he had a lot of health issues, and I thought, you're my husband's best mate, I'm just going to give you a bottle, and if it works for you, then so be it. My husband said he'd pay for it for him. So I sent him down a bottle, and him and his daughter put in an order shortly after. And anyway, this one day I'm in my driveway, and comes this car, and it stops halfway down my driveway, and out jumps this man. And I'm like, oh, it's my husband's best friend. And this man came running up to me with his mate in tow, comes running up to me, puts his arms around me, and says, thank you, darling, you've given me my life back. Now, that is the most beautiful thing that anyone could ever experience. When you know you're helping somebody, and I didn't know he was coming. My husband knew, but he didn't tell me. I had no idea. And I knew he'd lost his weight, but I had no idea that I had helped him in other ways as well. And you know what? That's what makes being a Skinny Body Care distributor worthwhile. The money's good, but getting the buzz, knowing that you're helping people, is the most fulfilling experience that anyone could ever have. And I know some of you have already had this happen to you. And I know all you new distributors, you will have it happen to you. And when you do have it, send me a message. And yeah, I'll cry. I'll be a big sook. But I'll tell you what, you won't wipe that smile off your face because it is the most amazing experience. So on that note, I just thought I'd just share a bit of experience with you. And I'll let you go and have a wonderful day. Bye.